Cheers, everyone. Dave Brown here with the New Populist. Thank you again for joining me. Of course, yesterday, Donald Trump was found guilty of 34 different charges in his hush money case, a result that was completely predictable. And because it was predictable, I didn't talk much about the case because why? We knew exactly what they were doing. Everything was set up for a result that was, almost 100% guaranteed to happen. And it happened. They found him guilty. Now, what does that mean? Some people think we are entering into uncharted territory with this conviction, and that this is a new moment for our country where we're completely unmoored from any sort of principles or restraints. And I don't think it's quite that way. And why do I say that? Well, if you look in our not too distant past, our government has done far worse. Remember 1963, the Kennedy assassination, probably done by our CIA. So if you go back in time, we've already done some pretty wicked things, our government. And of course, in 1968, his brother was shot, RFK. And with Nixon, the CIA, the FBI, they conspired to get him out of office. So we already have on the record some pretty bad stuff our government has done. Again, assassinated a president. So if you're Donald Trump, maybe you're thankful that they just use lawfare or just have used lawfare so far against you. And this guilty verdict will not prevent him from running for president and being elected, of course. There are a lot of issues with it as far as his ability to campaign. Will he be put in jail when he's sentenced by the judge? We don't know. Expect anything. Again, there's no restraints on this current government right now. But again, it's nothing new. Our government has done far worse. And one thing I want to talk about, too, is the Republican establishment. And I said months ago, what's emboldening Democrats is the fact that they know the Republican establishment isn't going to retaliate. So right now, you go on Twitter, you see all these congressmen, senators, governors. Oh, this is a bad day for America. We need to support Donald Trump. But in reality, I guarantee you, probably half of them are secretly happy that Trump was found guilty. And they're just writing these meaningless things to, make sure the voters, don't come after them. But deep down, I guarantee you, a lot of people in the Republican establishment are very happy with this, irrespective of what they publicly say. And that's the problem. Democrats know this behind closed doors. You got people like Mitch McConnell and other people talking, and they know Republicans will not retaliate in kind. And this is kind of like war, right? Sometimes both sides will have, there'll be a gentleman's agreement. You don't go after our top guy, and we won't go after your top guy. And that gentleman's agreement kind of constrains both sides and protects the leadership. And in this case with Donald Trump, our side's going behind closed doors. Do what you got to do. We're not really going to come after you. So that's actually the problem here. And that's why Trump has been attacked, because our side, Republican side, I won't say our side, the Republican establishment, is weak and in some ways complicit with what's happened to Donald Trump. So our first job is not to go after Democrats if you're a Republican or conservative or whatever. Our first job is to go after the rhinos, the Republicans who are all talk, no action, and who, some of them probably, are very happy that Donald Trump was convicted. And I have another message, too, also for people who don't like Donald Trump. They say you're a progressive, liberal Democrat. That's fine. I never supported going after Hillary because waste of time. Hillary is not the enemy for Republicans. She represents an establishment. If she goes down, the next person comes up doing the exact same thing. And so Donald Trump during his campaign would say things like "lock her up." It was a campaign thing. It wasn't serious. And when he got elected, he was actually at I think a luncheon in D.C. where Clinton was there, and he actually goes, "We should thank the Clintons for their service to the country." And at that point, it was completely let go. The entire lock her up thing. It was never serious, and I'm glad it wasn't, because, in my opinion, it was a waste of time. And the whole thing with the server, was she technically in violation of the law? Probably. Almost everybody in Congress, as far as classified information, could be found guilty of something. The laws are so not ambiguous, but there's so many different laws that can be interpreted a certain way. You can find pretty much anybody guilty of anything. So if the State Department knew about her server and didn't act on it, why do I care that much? So I never supported going after Hillary, because that's a waste of time and doesn't do anything for Republicans or for the country generally. And that is the bigger point. If you're happy about Trump being found guilty, but I say to you, let's look at the last 25 years, and this is something that both sides should look at. We spent $7 trillion in the Middle East. We invaded Iraq, that we know now is based off of lies. We had a torture program. In 2008, we had a financial crisis where the richest amongst us actually stole money from us to bail themselves out. We killed or assassinated American citizens. Barack Obama had a list, and he, I think it was called, what was it called again? Oh, I forget. But he had a list on his desk of people that needed to be assassinated. So we killed American citizens overseas using drones. We destabilized Libya, destroyed that country. We funded terrorists in Syria to try to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. And then we have COVID. We know now that our own government was funding dangerous research, outsourced it to China. That virus gets out, causes a pandemic. Millions die. They lock us down. And during that pandemic was the greatest transfer of wealth from the middle class and the country generally up to the richest people in the world. They made out like bandits during the pandemic. And now we have inflation, we have high gas prices, we're fighting 2 proxy wars and possibly a third with China. If Donald Trump being convicted of this crime is what worries you, I don't know what to tell you. There are so much more important things for us to fight, Republican and Democrat. It shouldn't be, Donald Trump and some hush money thing. That's what you're concerned about. If that's your victory, wow. What have you actually won? Nothing. Go get some gas. Pay $4 a gallon. Go to the store. Pay $100 for 5 steaks. You're getting screwed. Left or right, Democrat, Republican. Right now, it's bad for all of us. And when we focus on things like Donald Trump being convicted and thinking that's some sort of win for ourselves, the ruling class, the billionaire class, they're laughing at us. Like, look at these idiots. we're robbing them blind, and they're focused on this crap. So, Hillary, I didn't want to see her be charged. Trump, waste of time. And collectively, left or right, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, our enemy is not these individuals. Our enemy is the ruling establishment that has been lying to us, that has been ripping us off, fighting wars in our name, and costing trillions of dollars and killing millions of people. That's our enemy. Keep focused on that. So you don't have to like Donald Trump or even vote for him. But just remember who we really should be going after. It's not each other, and it's not individual politicians over nonsense. It is the government that for the last 70 years, probably since JFK, has been out of control, unaccountable, and does whatever it wants. That's our true enemy, and that's who we really should be fighting. So keep that in mind going forward. Well, that's it for now. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.